Davidson once asked, "In our lifetime, wouldn't it be sad if we spent more time washing dishes or swatting flies or mowing the yard or watching television than praying for world missions?" While traveling to Honduras in the summer of 2012 with my church youth group, I learned a lot about the country as well as the culture of this country. Honduras is located in Central America, which is also known as Spanish Honduras. This is a place where almost 60% of the Spanish-speaking Hondurans live below the poverty line. The mission work in this area consisted of hosting a vacation Bible school for the local children, constructing different houses and buildings in the area, and delivering food bags to the community members. According to MissionLazarus.org, Mission Lazarus, which is the camp I resided at during my stay, exists to restore dignity and purpose to children whose short lives have been forcibly marked by a struggle to survive that consumed any hope or knowledge of a redeemed life through the love of Jesus Christ. I would now like to go into more depth about these events that I experienced to help extend your knowledge of Honduras and more specifically, Mission Lazarus. Vacation Bible School was hosted by all members of our group. On the day of the arrival, we were split into 4 different groups that consisted of skits, snacks, lessons, and activity. While a free VBS sounds good to most, the children of Honduras have more to worry about. They had to worry about how they were going to get there. The VBS was hosted at an old church located in the middle of the community, so for anyone who lived far out, getting to church each day was an issue. Some kids had to walk up to several miles to get to the church, and when the children arrived at the church, we split them into the 4 groups. After they were all split up, they went to their assigned group. The first group was the skits. Before we went to Honduras, we had meetings where we went and learned skits from the Bible that we would perform to our kids. The next group was the lesson. Our youth group was in charge of gathering the lesson for each day, and not only did he have to get the lesson together, but he also had to learn how to teach the lesson in Spanish. The third group that they went to was snacks. The children could get 1 pack of animal crackers and a Capri Sun. Being that some of the kids only got 1 meal a day, a pack of animal crackers and a Capri Sun was like heaven on earth. The last group of each day was the activity. We knew that a lot of the kids don't get to have a lot of toys, so we tried to make the activity as fun as possible and always sent them home with something to play with. The construction part of the trip was definitely the hardest physically. Altogether, we built a house that would house a family of 10. The guy in charge of Mission Lazarus had a list of families in the community that needed a house, and the family that we got just happened to be the next family on the list. Just like the VBS, we were split into 4 different groups. We had a frame laying group, a concrete group, a brick group, and a roofing group. Each group consisted of approximately 5 people. On the first day, the concrete laying group had to mix their own concrete with mix and water, and they also had to wheelbarrow the mix from the back of the truck to the house. When they got it mixed, they were in charge of laying a foundation where the frame of the house would sit. The framing group then had to measure each piece of wood and make sure that it all fit together like a puzzle. When they had the frame of the house up, the bricklayers then had to start from the bottom and lay 1 brick at a time around and up until they got to the top. The brick group was split into smaller groups, in which the women of the group mixed the mortar and laid it between the brick, while the men measured and laid the brick where they needed to go. When all of the bricks had been laid, the group for roofing measured and cut shingles to fit around the top of the house. While certain groups were finished with their part of the construction, delivering food bags was next on the schedule. Most of the people in the community lived off of what they made in their garden or what the men killed while hunting. To make up for what the families didn't have, we made food bags to help provide for them. We set up at the mission base in an assembly line and made the bags. The people at the end of the table opened the bags and passed them to the next people where they put rice, noodles, tortillas, flour, and chicken broth. When entering the house, the people weren't used to any company, so they all looked at us in awe. When we knocked on the door, every family was very open and friendly, trying to make us feel as comfortable as possible. Although not one family had enough seats for all of us to sit in, they tried their hardest to find all of us somewhere to sit. When we first got to all of the houses, we gathered around in a circle and prayed with and for them. We prayed that the food would bless and nourish the family. And before we left, the family thanked us over and over and kept telling us that they were so very grateful for what we had done for them. Reflecting back on my trip, the experiences I had in Honduras have shaped the way I live and how I help others in a positive way. I hope that you are encouraged to take part in a trip like I did.